Talk Radio. Angela Sharp's here. Vic Faust. We appreciate you joining us today. I believe we're back up on Facebook. We are rocking and rolling on a Friday. It is March 25th, 8:21 is our time. It's Friday. Hope everybody's getting set for the weekend. Of course, as always, you can jump in on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. Share the show. As always, we'll jump in. We'll do what we can there. We'll take your phone calls, or at least Angela will. The phone number 636.
I will be taking all phone calls.
And be waiting for our phone call to come in.
I am. I've got my eyes on it.
Phone number 636-695-2915, 636-695-2915. Hope everybody's ready to go today. We're getting ready to go. Anyway, what we've got now is a situation where my colleague, Mandy Murphy, is going to be
so
joining.
Excited. I love her. I love her.
Yeah, she is. And we'll introduce her properly in a few minutes when we get everybody up and running. It's nice to see Eric isn't here. I'll be there. He decides to not show up. Eric's not here. Chris isn't here. Brendan isn't here.
Today I was that prepared. Like sometimes I'm prepared.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
This,
yeah.
But today I wasn't prepared. So I apologize. I'm trying to figure it out.
What do you mean you're not prepared? I think you did a fantastic job.
I think we got some of it. It just took me a minute to figure out. Now I know where all the buttons
Michelle
are.
says, great job, Angela.
Thank you.
Way to jump in there.
I'm trying. So I'm very excited about the Mandy Murphy part of the show, though.
Yeah, I've worked with Mandy for just coming up in a couple weeks. It'll be my 7-year anniversary back in St. Louis.
Okay, so because you were here, you disappeared, and you came back.
No, I'm from here.
Right.
I disappeared to college.
Oh, you disappeared to college. Okay.
I came back for your post college for a year.
Okay, so you were here for 1 year.
Yeah, for about a year. Then I said I was doing sales, and I was like, yeah. Then a friend of mine said, you need to really go pursue what you went to school for.
Right.
And then I got started in the TV
Which
industry.
is good advice.
So, well, yeah. Or I could have owned a business by now and done something other than,
Yeah, but you like what you do. You like what you do.
So anyway, yeah, then I went to St. Joseph, Missouri for a few years, market 202 of 209. So I started at the bottom of the barrel. Then went to Columbia, Missouri.
Okay.
And that was fun.
Which was your old college?
School. Yeah, that was fun.
That worked, okay.
From Columbia, Missouri to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
After a 3-year stint in Tulsa, then it was off to Detroit for 11 years.
Okay.
Never thought I'd leave.
Right.
But then St. Louis opportunity opened up, and we decided to come back.
Because this is basically where you're from.
Bingo.
Why wouldn't you come back?
Exactly.
And so you've worked with her, but she just celebrated a big...
Yeah, Mandy.
Yeah.
30 years. And there's nobody that knows St. Louis news better than Mandy. So
30 years?
Yeah, because she started as a little pup.
That's awesome.
I know. It's fascinating.
And kind of unheard of, right?
Not necessarily.
People switch out and
not necessarily unheard of. It happens. That they're far and few between when that happens. That's for sure. But there's people who stay in markets and can do that for a long time. But she is, so she's there. At least that's when she was. So anyway, that's what we're doing here. We're getting things ready to go. And once again, you can give us your phone call, 636-695-2915, 636-695-2915. Angela, lots more praise to you, girl, for getting the show up and running, as always, as you get put into tough situations. But, of course, it takes a woman to get everything done and to make things go the way that they should. Of course, you can stream us at viperrocks.com. You can stream us at viperrocks.com. We're live on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. Share the show as always, and we'll go from there. Big guest today, and we started off with the one and only Mandy Murphy, my colleague. Mandy, are you on air? We don't have Mandy yet, but Angela's working it. That's all right. I'm sure she's got it.
I got her.
Hey, Mandy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Mandy, we appreciate you joining us. Welcome in to the Morning Edge this morning. We had a rough morning. We got things started. All I had to say was Mandy Murphy, and viewership, listenership, everything just popped up. Mandy is giving us time this morning. This is Friday is your day off for people who may not know, but we got to get Angela's mic popped up.
You made her get up early today to come talk to us?
Mandy, what time do you get up every? Mandy is an early riser, though.
Oh, Are you, Mandy?
Yeah, I was up by about 6:30.
Oh.
Usually that's my normal time.
Oh, my.
No matter what time she
Yeah.
goes to bed, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's what happens when you're, driving a 15-year-old to school. So
Well,
you
we
get up early.
we welcome everybody into The Edge this morning, the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Eric Johnson here, Brendan Shanahan, Angela Sharp. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2 with the legend, Mandy Murphy. Mandy celebrated, and I love it. Mandy's real. She's direct. She doesn't try to hide things. She tells it how it is.
Right.
She celebrated an incredible anniversary recently, 30 years in Fox 2, which shows why she's the best news person in St. Louis. And she has seen a lot over the years. And yeah, Eric, you can get into your Dick Ford stuff. But Mandy, when you think back of 30 years, I mean, what comes to mind? I mean, all of the year. I mean, did you ever think you'd be in TV this long? Because I knew you wanted to do it from the time you were young.
Yeah, I mean, I knew I would be, I felt like I would be in TV for my career. I didn't know where that would be. I mean, when you're young starting out in this business, you're just trying to make it to the next level. And I was so blessed. And, but it took a lot of hard work to be able to go from growing up in a little small town in western Kentucky and then I made it to St. Louis when I was 24 years old. So, and then I was filling in anchoring at 24. And then just about a year and a half later, I was anchoring with Dick Ford. So it was a lot as a really young person because you're so worried about your credibility and how you do the best job possible. You look the best, you sound the best, you do the best stories. And, I just realized a long time ago that you just have to be real. You have to care about the people that you're interviewing, and you have to show them respect, and you have to take the job seriously and be a hard worker. And then, the rest of it falls in line.
I think the main question that everyone's wondering right now, 30 years in the business, who was better, Dick Ford or Vic Faust?
Dick Ford, stop it. Don't embarrass me.
What are you talking about? She has the opportunity.
I haven't been at it long enough.
She has the opportunity to make you a legend right now.
Yeah, and like I said,
Dick
Mandy,
Faust, the legend.
Mandy doesn't lie. Mandy's direct.
Doesn't lie.
I hope I can be Dick Ford someday.
Okay.
Well, and I do too, and that's what we aspire to be. I remember, and Karen Faust was a legend when I started anchoring, and I wanted to be Karen Faust one day. Mm-hmm. And now looking back, I've been on the air as long as she has. But, it just takes time.
Are you kidding me?
Is a city that they want to know you.
Yeah.
Mandy, you've been on air the same time as Karen Faust?
Oh, yeah.
Well, from the Facebook line, Todd says, Mandy, you look 30, so give us a break.
Oh.
Oh,
well,
good question. Does it take a lot?
Heart.
Do you have to? We asked Dave Murray the same thing. Do you have to work on that? Are you constantly conscious of a 4K camera in your face every night? Are you constantly working in there? You're like, man, I'm just out. Whatever you get, you get.
Well, absolutely. I mean, let's be real. You have to. It is a visual medium, and you have to look pleasing to the eye. Now, I mean, I'll be 55 years old next month, so I'm aging just like everybody else. But I do my best to look my best and not, be one of those crazy people who look like, you're all puffed up and,
Yep. Yep.
So I don't ever want to be that. I think you've got to age gracefully, but at the same time, you want your hair to look good. You want your face to look good. You want to do your very best.
But Mandy, in the last 6 months, how much weight did you lose? Because it's not easy for any of us once we get older to lose weight. Because Mandy does look great, but you got serious about diet, and Mandy loves her wine.
Well, yeah,
and she
I
gave
do
up
love my wine. I lost 25 pounds.
Yeah, and that's.
Yeah, you get to a point, and I've been through a divorce. I got remarried. I've had a lot of happy pounds over the last 10 years, and because we love to drink wine and go out to eat. So, I just reached a point where I'm like, oh, none of my clothes are fitting like I want them to. And as you age as a woman, everything goes to different locations. So I just decided, you know what, now's the time, and I want to do this.
Well, I have a question for you. So you talked
Yeah.
about going through a divorce and all of that
Yeah.
stuff, all while giving the news on a nightly basis. How are you
Yeah.
able to manage some hard stuff in your personal life while still, being credible and everything on air?
Well, you just have to put your private life separate from your professional life. It has to be totally separate. And when you come to work, you have to be game on. And I always did that. I never missed a single day of work going through all of that. But, my focus was on my kids, and, everything worked out just fine. And I just am a very private person when it comes to all that. I'm not someone who's out putting stuff out on social media, and you just make it separate. But were things written in the paper? Yes. Were things put online? Yes. And people would call and they notice everything about you. And, I was just real. I'm like, yeah, I'm a normal person.
Yeah.
We go through the same problems that the viewers go through. So, I am who I am.
I like how you transition. We have Greitens coming on here, and you said something about, I read stuff in the paper, and do you shake it off now? Because cancel culture can be brutal, and if something's written about you, you have to either attack it back or you just have to ignore it. In your opinion, how do you handle that when you're in the public spotlight? Do you just kind of like whatever, or do you kind of go back at people that say something about you maybe publicly?
I ignore most of it.
Okay.
For the most part. I haven't had anything dramatic. If people will email me and say, I felt like, I didn't like what you said about this, or I didn't like what you said about that. And I'm very, very particular about my words and how I try to stay right down the middle. And, and I try to live my life without doing too many things that would bring red flags. So, I just try to, live my life in the most respectful way and let the chips fall where they may. I love people and I respect people, and I just feel like, you treat people the way you would want to be treated, and then, life just happens.
That's
So-
true. We're talking with Mandy Murphy, longtime anchor, legend at Fox 2 in St. Louis, Missouri. If you have any questions for Mandy, jump in on the Facebook line, 100.7 The Viper. As always, share the show. And Brendan has a question.
Hey, so you can answer to this too, Vic. So
Mandy can go first.
how did the switch to HD change the way things went? Like, so, there were a lot of anchors that were always talking about, that like Karen Faust was aging and things like that. Did you guys have to go anything special, do anything special because with the change to HD, just how close and clear the picture was, you couldn't hide certain things?
Well, we had to change our, we had to change our makeup. There's high definition makeup so that it just kind of sits on the top of the skin. That would be the main thing, really. That nothing more than that. I mean, how much can you change? I mean, you have to make sure your hair's not crazy, but makeup's probably the main thing.
You definitely saw clothing kind of change during that time, and you saw like camera shots sort of change a little bit. Like, oh, they're not pulling in that close to that, that one shot or anything. It just seemed
I
like
don't feel like we ever did that. I felt like we just kind of did the same thing. A lot of stations have uplighting. We don't. There are a lot of stations who have certain kinds of lighting, and the lighting did change, I will say that, to make it more high-def friendly, and the lighting wasn't quite as harsh
Eric,
as it
I
used
want
to be.
uplighting. Mandy and I agree on that. We're
You can have
it.
like
See,
a
Hey, I want
flashlight.
any help I can get. I'm not going to act like
I tease
as
Mandy.
far as
I
lighting
call
goes.
her the boss of the station because when Mandy asks for something, usually it gets done. It does.
That is not true, but go
Mandy
ahead and
makes
believe
subtle
it.
suggestions. Like, man, we need a vending machine over there. The next day you walk in, there's a vending machine. Oh, it's like, oh, okay. When Mandy speaks, people listen. It's one of those types of things. A question from the Facebook line. Mandy, has Glenn Zimmerman stolen anything of yours from the refrigerator yet? I don't think Mandy puts anything in our refrigerator.
No, I do from time to time. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't stolen it. No,
he's a musician. Of course he did.
Had an issue of stealing the refrigerator. I may need to talk with him.
Cindy says, I love Mandy Murphy. I've seen her from the beginning in St. Louis. You haven't changed a bit. Still as pretty as always.
Oh, that's really nice. You know, when I hear from people who say, you know, I grew up watching you, or I remember when you came to my grade school, and, you know, now they're grown adults.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that does remind me. But, you know, I love that. I love that. And that's how you have longevity in St. Louis, by being there night after night. And, you know, I do feel, I have to say, I'm so glad that St. Louis is welcoming and feels like, you know, I love having mature women on the air. You know, that's important.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. You guys, hands down, are the best newscast in St. Louis, period. Discussion over. 30 years. I keep going back to 30 years. You have a very unique bird dog view of St. Louis. We talk about it on this. I'm from St. Louis, too. I moved away and came back. But I remember a time when St. Louis just seemed better. It wasn't so, there was not so much crime. It seemed like it was just a more free-flowing city. What's your opinion? You've covered it every single night. What's your opinion about how St. Louis is doing right now versus maybe how it was when you first started here in St. Louis?
Well, it has changed a lot. I mean, you know, when I first moved here, you know, everyone went and hung out on the landing, and, you know, everybody's walking around, and that's a hip happening spot, and how downtown has changed, and, you know, and St. Charles County was really just starting to boom. So the whole shift in the population has changed. But, you know, there are a lot of things that have been issues here from the very beginning. There have been racial issues. There have been all kinds of things that maybe they've escalated, and obviously they had during Ferguson. But there have always been issues like that, and I think so much changed when we started getting into social media. You know, that is really when I saw a lot of things shift, and how people respond to the news and how people respond to politicians and things like that. You know, it just really changed perception quickly. But yeah, no, I've seen a lot of changes. You know, when I first moved here, Chesterfield Mall was like, you know, a huge booming place.
Yep.
And I took my kids there, and now, you know, there's nothing really, for the most part, shopping there like it used to be. It's just, some of it is disheartening, but I really do believe we have a great community. We have a community of people who truly care. And if we could just get past a lot of our differences, we could get a lot done.
Yeah.
Hey, Mandy, you know, you talked about kind of how you got where you are, you know, do a good job, kind of put your head down. Do you have any advice for people maybe trying to do what you've done and have the longevity that you've had now?
Well, I do. I think it takes patience. I look at some of our new reporters who are coming in. You know, we're hiring people who are in their early 20s, and they're reporting and anchoring. And I think, you know, in this day and age, how do you get to the point where I am now 30 years later? And I think the basics are still the same. I think you have to come into work and be willing to work your tail off and work the hours and the weekends and go the extra mile. And then I think you have to take criticism, and I think you have to learn from it.
Yeah, Vic.
And then you be there night after night, and you don't get so caught up with, oh, I've got to get to L.A., oh, I've got to get to the next television market. No, you may have to work weekends for several years.
Yeah.
I worked every holiday until not too long ago. You know, that's what you do in this business. And if you have that, and you are real on the air and you really do good, hard-hitting news stories, I think you can really go a long way.
We're talking with Mandy Murphy, the legend, my co-anchor from Fox 2 from the Facebook line. Mandy has always been a class act. What a classy lady. Mandy was super sweet to Angie Hausman's Angels for Justice. We have never forgotten that. Also, Todd says, good luck with that, Mandy, teaching the millennials and broadcasting. Also,
so true.
Mandy is on, and I mean, Mandy's at Fox 2 for a while. Okay, they were able to keep Mandy around. She wanted to stay, thankfully.
Yep.
But the question, Mandy, and you don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but I have to ask it. How much longer do you want to stay in broadcasting? That also coming from the Facebook line.
This is the Rolling Stones question, by the way. How much longer do you want to do this?
The Mandy farewell tour, number 7.
No, it is not the Mandy farewell tour. Do not put that out there. No, I plan to work, as long as possible. I really do. I mean, until I'm truly not enjoying it, and I'm blessed that I have a management team that supports me, and, they are good to me, and I like the people I work with, and I still wake up every day hungry for news and a passion for it. And I don't want to walk away from that until I know I'm ready. So, I have no plans to retire at this point. Now,
Good answer.
That's the answer today.
That's a great answer.
What's the worst job you ever had?
Well, she started at 24, so.
Right, that's true.
Well, she
Stocking
might have worked in
shelves.
something else
If
besides.
she says working with Vic,
We're keeping Vic out
I love
of this
working
today.
with Vic.
We're
We're good friends, and that's really important to me. Probably the worst job I ever had was signing on to a radio station at 5 a.m. in the morning when I was in college.
Oh, my God.
I can
on a
relate.
Sunday
I
morning
can relate.
after being out on a Saturday night.
Yes. Starting the ESPN feed at 12 o'clock and waking up at 8 under the desk. That was horrible.
That is funny. Eric, you better ask about any funny Dick Ford
I
stories.
can't do it. You know what?
Mandy has so many Dick Ford stories. Hell, I told you I didn't even have that much time with Dick. I was able to take him to Napoli one night, and it was a great night.
I'm fascinated by where the bones are buried. I know there's a lot of skeletons in closets around St. Louis. I do, and I think it's disrespectful for me to ask Mandy where they're all buried. But who do you let's just talk about I have always thought St. Louis, Missouri, had the best broadcasters anywhere in the country. Starting from you and Dick Ford, and I mean, you can go back to Bob Costas, you go back to Jack Buck. Did you know any of those guys? Did you ever hang out with? Was the broadcaster community here in St. Louis? Were you guys close back in the day, or were you kind of like if you saw each other at a gala somewhere, that's about it?
Like Anchorman,
Yeah,
fights
like
out in the street,
exactly.
the backyard, the alleys.
Well, your paths would cross as part of the job. Doing interviews and things like that. Now, I've been with Bob Costas at social events. Do I hang out with him? No. As far as Dick goes, we worked together, but we also hung out together, and we still do. I mean, he was friends with Jack Buck, but he didn't hang out with him. Dick was a private person, but Dick and I mean, we would work together during the week, and his favorite thing is his backyard pool, and then we'd go over there, and, he makes a mean margarita, and we would sit out
Or
and
two.
just laugh and talk. And I remember during the flood, we worked for a solid month straight, no
Yes.
days off, all day, all night, and we got our first night off, and he invited us over, and we're sitting around drinking margaritas, and that was the night the Burger King boat broke loose. And they're calling us to come in, and we're like, there is no way.
Well, it's good when you have Dick Ford at that age of your life and your career to go,
No,
not
right.
going in. Ain't happening.
I'm 4 marks in.
That is exactly right. And Dick is, he was, and still is, I mean, he's doing great, but he was just a fiery guy in the newsroom, and he could call you out if something wasn't right, and he'd compliment you if something was great. And, he always told me, one of his lines is, whenever you stop talking, I start talking, and vice versa. And you got to be there for the other person. And, he said, you got to know what you're talking about and be conversational. And I learned so much from him. I still, quotes of his come to mind all the time. But he was a great person to learn from. I was in a very different place in my career when we were anchoring together.
But just think about it. Not only did Mandy work with Dick Ford, but also Tom O'Neill.
Tom O'Neill, yes.
Another local legend on top of it all.
Yep.
Dick and Mandy one year hosted Point Fest with us at the Point.
Stop it.
Stop it.
You remember that, Mandy?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. I remember it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was, they had a bunch of video clips that we'd have up on stage with them, and they'd introduce bands, and we'd come out and be like, here's Dick and Mandy. It was great.
That works.
What is the name of this person I'm in?
It's the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
Hey, Mandy, who has a better tan, Dick or Vic?
Oh, it depends on what. Right now, you.
Okay.
That's so funny.
In the height of summer, Dick.
Mandy,
Because he has a pool.
Mandy, was there ever a point like when you were either doing a story or something where you thought, this is it, I just messed everything up and I'm never going to recover?
Yeah. I one of my first live shots, it was like my second day on the job here. They always just throw you out on the breaking news. And I was covering some shooting, and I was down live at Barnes Hospital, and I'm trying to do a live shot, and I just screwed everything up. I couldn't get names right. I was standing there like a deer in the headlights. And I thought, okay, that's it. I'm going back to the station, and they're just going to say, go back to Kentucky. But they didn't, and they said, okay, here's what you got to do. Here's how you have to learn, and so this doesn't happen the next time. Yeah,
I love that
has
though,
for sure happened.
Help
And
guide you.
one of the times, I'll be honest with you, that happened actually during Ferguson. I was covering the press conference the next day after Michael Brown was killed, and I had there was one person who I was interviewing live. It was all live, and you're showing the emotion and what everybody's saying, and he got on the air and said a lot of inappropriate things, and it was live, and I thought, okay, I don't know how to recover from this. And I just apologized and kind of cut it off. And I thought, I'm really going to get fallout from this. But I didn't. And, and then that's when I thought, okay, things are going to happen, especially on live TV.
Yep.
You're going to say things. People are going to say things that you can't control. And we got through it. And I just remember Shirley Washington was there with me, and she went over and she gave that guy a piece of her mind, and she had my back.
Nice.
And I was so appreciative of that.
And you don't want to get, hey, Shirley's sweet, but I'm telling you what, she'll come out, she'll set you straight. Mandy, do you have 3-4 more minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Real quick, somebody said they met you and your husband with Dave Murray and his wife Janice at Jimmy Buffett. So you're kind of all over the place. Somebody wants
we
to
went
know.
to a concert a few years back.
Also, I think it's important for people to know who Mandy is as much as you want to share away from the anchor desk, too. I've had a chance to get to know you because you started this interview off by saying, TV people are real. We're just like everybody else. Who's Mandy? What's your life like? What do you like to do away from TV? Because I know what you're doing all the time, which includes racing around a lot.
Well, yeah. I'm pretty busy. My favorite thing to do is plant flowers, work in the yard, do fun things like that. I love to play tennis. I'm on the board of directors for National Charity League, so I do a lot of volunteer work. We work with 24 philanthropies here in St. Louis, and it's a mom and daughter organization, and so my daughter and I are in that. We do a lot of work with groups like that, and so I've got something going all the time, but I love to be outside. I love to travel, love to go to Florida. The beach is my happy place. And, yeah, so that's kind of what I do.
You just
time off, work out. And,
You know what another great thing about Mandy is? I don't want anybody that you think, oh, Mandy's on TV personality.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet her kids have it easy. Mandy's daughter works her tail off. Mandy has a freshman daughter who she's busting her butt working.
Yeah.
And
she's one to save for a car. You know, I mean,
say-
obviously I'm going to help her as much as I can, but, you know, I believe in work ethic.
Great.
My mother taught me a work ethic, and my grandmother worked until she was 85 years old. My mom still works full-time as a hairdresser. I started working at 15, and Lacey started working at 15, and she busses tables 2 days a week.
It's so
and
refreshing.
it's saving money for a car.
Now,
it's so
Lacey is
refreshing.
your daughter's name is Lacey. That's beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Let me ask you this: you're a mom, and your kid is going to school. We talk about this on the air all the time, and you report this on the news every night. You've seen changes through St. Louis. Now you're starting to see changes. You are literally in the perfect position to see how kids are changing their education standards. What can you? How does she feel about how kind of education in the critical race theory and all the challenges that they're going
Eric,
through
we got
now?
like a
and
minute. That's
what
like a
she's got.
15-minute topic.
No, she's got. She is a professional. She can do this in 15 seconds.
Yeah, she's much better than me. Yeah, 15 seconds.
What is your are you like, you know what, I think that the public schooling is going good, or do you have challenges kind of how it's going?
Well, I mean, everybody has challenges. And, you know, I think it depends on the kid, public versus private, what you can, what you can't do. I mean, there's no really right or wrong. Every school has challenges. I just like it when the schools will listen to parents, listen to their voices, and then make decisions based on that and what's best for the student body. You know, people need to be listened to. I really think in their opinions validated. But at the same time, we have a lot of choices in St. Louis. And there's so many great school districts. And, you know, you have choices. If you don't like it one place, you can choose to move or go. You know, there are so many great private schools that are options as well, and parochial schools.
Robert Peterball from the Facebook line. Mandy, you're a great role model. And this is somebody who isn't even from the state. We have listeners and viewers from all over the country. That's somebody who's not even from here. So before we let you go, Mandy, she also makes some of the best pumpkin spice bread.
Vic talks about your baking
I
all
mean,
the time.
Oh, my, it's so good.
Please double up on it next time and send some to us. Please.
You know, it's so funny you said that because I had to make a batch. We're leaving this morning to go to Nashville. My daughter's a senior at Belmont, my other daughter, and so we're going to see her last performance or play, and I had to make a load of pumpkin bread.
We take leftovers here. This is radio, you know. This isn't TV.
Mandy, have an awesome weekend. Thanks so much for giving us some time today, and have an awesome weekend in Nashville.
Well, I just have to say before we go, you know, Vic, I love you. You're a great co-anchor, and I'm not just saying that because you're on this radio station.
Very nice.
You know, we're good friends, and you're going to be the Dick Ford of St. Louis. Just keep it up.
As in, you're not that yet.
As long as I listen to Mandy, absolutely.
Exactly.
Do I want to stay in local news that long? Will there be? Mandy, thanks again. Have an awesome weekend, okay?
Okay, thanks.
We'll see Mandy on Monday. So much fun catching up with Mandy. Now you see how down to earth and humble she is.
It makes you feel like your life sucks. She goes, you know, I just go outside, I plant some flowers, I do philanthropy work, and you're like, I don't do that. I drink lattes. It's like I hate myself.
No, but Angela asked some great questions in regards to how you get to that point and moving on.
Yes.
The one thing is when you walk into a newsroom, if you're a rock star, you know, Brendan walks in, people know his voice work. Like,
Right,
Brendan's the man.
Right.
His stuff. You walk in, people know your bass. When Mandy walks into the newsroom and there's new journalists or younger people, like, you carry that aura.
Oh, for sure.
And it's not just because you have to, people may have heard stories, but then it's actually when you actually start to work, when you start to write, when you start to break down scripts, and of course, when you anchor. So,
I would love to get her back
I
on.
ask her for opinion all the time. Like, how do you do this? You're never too good or too old to ask for advice. Chris Berman, one of the best ESPN sports broadcasters of all time, had a coach. He would consistently have somebody go over his stuff. That applies for anything in life. Like, let people look. Don't have thick skin. Listen, hey.
You've got one too many backs in there, Chris.
Well, I think that, I mean, there's always like those,
Oh,
like guitar players, like the guys I feel like are the best players that have ever walked on the earth. I'm always stunned when they go, yeah, my guitar teacher. I'm like, what? Who? What? And they go, yeah, sometimes that is the key to success. It's just listening to other people and absorbing what they say.
But I mean, I do vocal coaching and things like that, but I have vocal coaches and people who do like, I'm a producer. I produce demos for other people, but I don't produce my own demos.
It makes sense. Good advice for us all. We're past break, but we got to get to this is a big show. Don't go anywhere. After we take this break, coming back up right after the 9 o'clock break, Eric Greitens, former Missouri governor, will join us. We have about 5 to 10 minutes with him. Okay. Some news broke last night. Eric and his team allege that Karl Rove. Oh, I sent you the story, Eric. That Karl Rove was working with his ex-wife.
I saw it.
To keep him out of the Senate. And Eric will explain it all. It's fascinating stuff all the way around.
And we only got 5 minutes. Good luck.
5 to 8. Is some of Eric better or no Eric?
Well, you got to pick what question you ask him.
Jay Leno tested his material out at clubs before bringing it to the Tonight Show.
Right.
I didn't know that. From Robert Peterbald. Interesting stuff. All right, fastest 2 hours of Morning Talk Radio. Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan, Angela Sharp, and Vic Faust of Fox 2. Don't go anywhere. Coming up right after the break, we'll be talking with the former governor.
Karl Rove's hit
you. Wake up. The Edge Morning Show.
Hey, it's Shanny for Mascots Bar and Grill, and I'll tell you what, if you're looking for a place to watch the game with friends, Cardinals, Blues, whatever, it's Mascots Bar and Grill. If you're looking for a place for happy hour, it's Mascots Bar and Grill. Heck, grab some friends, get a table, and play rock and roll bingo every night and twice on Saturdays at Mascots Bar and Grill. You can win some great prizes. Seriously, great prizes at Mascots for playing rock and roll bingo. And it's absolutely free to play. Wednesday night is ladies' night, and you won't believe the specials they have going on there. Come by for lunch. They're the home of the legendary lunch special. You go tell them you're FOS, you're a friend of Shanny's, and you want that big old burger and fries for just $5, and they're going to give it to you fresh and hot, just the way you ordered it, and it's so delicious, and you don't have to do the dishes. If you go once, you will go again and again. Mascots Bar and Grill, home of the legendary lunch special.
Grab your coffee. The Morning Edge will be right back on 100.7 The Viper.
Hey, it's Shanny from the Legendary Lunch, and if you're hiring somebody to come in and do a project for you or your business, you need to trust them. And trust is built. Well, that's what Concrete Bob and everybody over at Concrete Masters does every day. They build trust, and they do it with quality work. And it shows in their porches and patios, the driveways and walkways they pour, the garages. Whether it's commercial or residential, Concrete Masters does it all. For new projects to tear out and replacement, if it's flat, Concrete Masters makes it great. So if you've got an upcoming concrete project and you don't call Concrete Masters, well, it's your own asphalt. Call them today, Concrete Masters, 314-486-0926. Tell them you want to speak to Concrete Bob and plan your next project today. 314-486-0926. It's Concrete Masters.
My daughter used to be a shining star. I would tell her, there's nothing you can't do. Now, it's like living with a stranger. It happens so fast. Centerpoint Hospital, real help for addiction and hope for a bright future.
If a young person dear to you is facing substance use, the Changing Point at Centerpoint Hospital now offers adolescent treatment solutions with detox, 4-week residential, and outpatient treatment. The changing point for adolescents at Centerpoint Hospital. Hope for a bright future.
Now another hour of The Edge Morning Show on KFNS Troy St. Charles. The Edge Morning Show. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
The graphics are so real on this video game console I bought with the savings from switching to Progressive 10 years ago. I can't tell what's real and what's the game, which I think is what people want. You know, in the future, which it is currently.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
The O'Fallon Kiwanis Club is now accepting applications for their vocational scholarships. If you're a high school senior or you're a high school student who's graduating this year, apply for a vocational scholarship being offered by the O'Fallon Kiwanis. To qualify, you must graduate this year and plan on attending a vocational school offering a technical certificate. Go online to ofkiwanis.com to find out more. Application deadline is March 21st. If you're a high school student graduating this year and plan on going into a technical field, the O'Fallon Kiwanis may be able to help.
Spectrum Glass is known for their quality work on windshields, but they do so much more. Spectrum Glass also specializes in residential, commercial, and automotive window tinting. Reduce the heat, reduce the fading, and increase your comfort with professional window tinting from Spectrum Glass. Serving St. Charles and surrounding counties since 1995, Spectrum Glass is still your premier company for windshield replacement. And with free mobile service, they come to you. 636-294-1800 on Facebook and SpectrumGlassOnline.com.
The Edge Morning Show.
Local headlines now with Fox 2's Vic Faust.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. 9:03 is our time. Time for a look at your morning headlines. Just a little bit late. Missouri moving one step closer to legalizing sports gambling. Legislation's passed the Missouri House already. Now it moves on to the Senate. You could have gambling in the state of Missouri legal. Do we know a time yet? No. But Missouri legislators say we're losing out on millions of dollars to other states like Illinois, where you can have sports betting. We'll continue to keep you posted in regards to that. The Missouri Senate finally passed a new congressional map. It's a map that basically looks like 6-2 Republicans, Democrats, but it's been very contentious for 3 months. We'll be talking about that next week in regards to talking to some representatives, how it plays out. But more of St. Charles County is now in one of the districts, which is one of the big things that Republicans did want in that situation. Also this morning, the Senate is considering fentanyl testing strips for addicts. If you haven't heard about this, it's a very interesting story. We have a story on fox2now.com. We have a story. The Senate bill would give addicts access to fentanyl testing strips, which would make it, or which would be used on drugs to determine if they're laced with fentanyl. So, hey, do your test. Before you take your drugs, test them to make sure that they're good drugs to be taken. There was an officer-involved shooting overnight. A man stabbed an officer. They ended up having to shoot the guy that was in a house. A 50-foot deep sinkhole is formed in downtown St. Louis. You can see how massive it is. Downtown St. Louis. We have a shot of it on fox2now.com. It is right across the street from the post office. St. Louis North 18th Street and Market Street. Wow. It's kind of like right out there in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, stay away from that. Quickly, look at your sports. What a night of college basketball. We'll start with the good news there. Arkansas beat Gonzaga, number 1 seed. Villanova got past Michigan. Yep. Duke and Coach K continue their ride. And Houston takes down another number 1 seed in Arizona. The Blues looked terrible last night against the Flyers, 5-2, but they host the Carolina Hurricanes, one of the best teams in the league, tomorrow night. That's a look at your news and sports. I'm Vic Faust.
All right, you guys know that I love talking about people when they separate. I'm always interested in how the money is split up. So Kelly Clarkson, Eric, do you even know who Kelly Clarkson is?
Yeah, she's the overweight singer, the overweight pop
Well,
singer.
he knows
did
who
not
she
just
is, but
say
I don't
that.
know that we needed to say that she was overweight.
No,
she also has her own talk show now. Anyway, she divorced her husband, Brandon Blackstock, who also was her manager. They've been fighting courts this whole time.
Do you know how long they were married?
They were married for 7 years.
Okay.
And they finally agreed, like the court said they were going to follow the prenup. But with the prenup, this is still what he gets. Are you ready for this?
Uh-oh.
He walks away with a one-time payment of $1.3 million.
He earned it.
Plus he gets
He earned it.
$115,000 a month in spousal support up until January 2024.
24.
He only has his children 1 week a month, and for that, he's going to get $45,000 a month in child support for their 2 children, River Rose 7 and Remington.
That's a
5
win,
years
win, win,
old.
win,
Yeah.
win.
I mean, and that is going with the prenup that they hadn't set in place. So she is now saying that she doesn't think her prenup was that good. I don't think it was.
At some point, if you had enough money to just write a check and make it all go away, Vic, would you have? In a second, right?
Yeah, but didn't we talk about this? Don't
Up-
people want to win a little bit?
Well, up and down and all around the emotions when you're going through a divorce and custody case. Yeah, my case sounded like hers, except with lower numbers.
I was gonna say probably a lot.
Except
more
I was
numbers.
like Kelly Clarkson.
And then I got a couple of birthdays for you. Danica Patrick, race car driver.
Danica.
40 years old today. Sarah Jessica Parker, any guesses?
Yes, 54.
57.
I think Eric might have looked it up. It is, in fact, 57.
All right. Well, it's same age as Eric.
Oh, is that why you know? And then, of course, Elton John. Everybody loves Elton John. How old is he today?
Piano Man.
75. Happy birthday to our celebrity friends.
That is cool.
Yeah, 75.
The Edge Morning Show.
Yeah. Turn it up. See, 50 is a bizarre transition age when you're in the music business.
What do you
Because
mean by
you
that?
still feel young. You still feel like you can do the high kicks and do the flips and all that stuff. But you still realize that, man, 70's right around the corner and you're going to be in a gurney pretty soon.
Do you do flips and high kicks?
I kind of still do all the crap I did when I was in my 20s.
I don't know if I'd call it a high kick. Plus, he's a bass player, so there's just a lot of head nodding.
Oh, it's like a jamming.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, guitarist and bassist have
50s
issues,
is
like
weird.
have neck issues.
We get used to it. Trust me. I know.
Have you ever had to go through concussion protocol
I
from
did.
like head banging too
Yeah,
hard?
they had to pull me off the stage one night because I got a concussion. No, it's not true. Not true.
Hey, guys, welcome back to The Edge, the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan, Angela Sharp. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Coming up in about 10 minutes, just a little over 10 minutes, we've got former Missouri Governor Eric Greitens. He's been in the news all week, and I mean all week. Of course, he's a U.S. Senate candidate right now. His ex-wife accused him of being an abuser a few days ago. Then 2 days ago, we had the situation come down with William Tisby, the lead investigator in the case against him, regarding whether he had taken a photograph, did illegal things. And, of course, Tisby pleads guilty. Now, Kim Gardner is somewhat on the hot seat. She has to go before her disciplinary board at some point in time. So Eric Greitens thinks that and he says flat out that the fix is in on him, and it's coming from Washington, from big-name figures like Karl Rove and Mitch McConnell. I mean, this stuff is fascinating because the average person has no idea what a rhino is, has no idea who Karl Rove is, and why Mitch McConnell or Karl Rove would care about Eric Greitens. So sometimes you have to, as you peel away the onions, the layers of the onion, it's like, okay, stay with us here, there, and the average person's like, what? This is just crazy.
Yeah.
I like to consider myself an average person. I knew who Karl Rove was. I did not know what a rhino was until like last week. So I'm the average person.
Yeah. Karl Rove and Dick Cheney in that group, they're just as cutthroat as anyone that's in the Clinton campaign. Trust me, they're just doing a lot more quiet. And if this is true, it's kind of bullcrap. But you know what? All's fair in love, war,
Karl
money,
Rove
and
has
in
denied.
politics.
This story came out on Breitbart last night, and Karl Rove has denied it.
Well, what do you think? You busted. Hey, Sean
Yep.
Hannity. Sorry. You got me. Yeah.
Wouldn't
April
that be
Fool.
great?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be
What's
awesome?
he going to say? What's he going to say? He's going to say, yeah, Dick Cheney called me up and told me to do this because McConnell asked him to do it. It's just a favor.
It is. Other big headlines, President Biden now warning that the food shortage in the United States is, quote, going to be real as sanctions on Russia continue around the world.
So I heard something kind of recently, and I don't know the accuracy of this, but apparently a lot of wheat is taking place
It's
in
the breadbasket of the world.
Ukraine and
Correct.
Russia. And because they're doing war now, they're not planting. So not only will it be a problem coming soon, but it'll be a problem for years to come.
Correct.
Also,
Ukraine, very fertile area, produced a lot of goods in Ukraine. You didn't even know that until Ukraine came into the forefront. Then you start learning about this little country over there that has so much. There's so many resources and things that the rest of the world, especially Europe, rely on.
Did he have a plan in place for this food shortage that he's telling us is going to happen?
Who's he? Biden?
The president. Yeah, that guy.
Not sure. I'm still trying to. I
no.
still can't
So
figure out what's happening.
No, you don't
in
understand.
Ukraine.
You don't understand. So the creepiest part of that press conference yesterday, and I think you'll agree,
Which press conference?
the one that Biden did where he was up in front of the NATO guys.
Yeah.
He said, this food shortage thing, I was expecting him to go, don't worry about it. We got it under control. The next words out of his mouth were, yeah, it's real. Next question. I mean, he doesn't.
He didn't give us and here's what I'm doing.
He's not Ronald Reagan. Let's put it that way. He doesn't have a plan to win. He has a plan to sit on the sideline and watch what's going on and saying, yeah, we're going to have a food shortage. Next question. I mean, it's like it's so.
So I didn't watch that because that would have been petrifying.
Yes, and he did it with the oil prices, too. He goes, yeah, expect higher gas prices. I'm going to be in Delaware this weekend. I mean, he is so horrible. He is the worst president. I don't mean to be mean. It's just look, he's polling right now at 28% in some polls.
No, it is.
No president has
it is
been at
some of the lowest.
28% in polling.
Yeah, because it came with COVID and then the economy, the inflation, then moving into a possible world war, of which now the Turkish president is saying that Zelensky and Putin are getting close to consensus on some key issues at resolving the Russia-Ukraine war.
I went to my yacht
Turkey,
back. Don't touch my gold.
Turkey's been hosting those diplomatic talks between the nations. He says, quote, we will continue our talks with both Mr. Putin and Mr. Zelensky from now on as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, here just across the AP line. Yeah, seen this morning, Russian oligarchs' yachts on their way back to Russia.
Oh, are they really?
Kidding, of course.
A fleet of yachts with cannons on them.
But the president also coming out, and he's getting some heck from his critics in Washington, Republicans, because Biden says, I never said that sanctions against Russia were going to stop Putin. Or
then what's
him.
the point?
But then the critics of the president are saying, in your State of the State, you spent the first 10, 15 minutes talking about how Putin was suffering and how he mismanaged and didn't understand the fight that was going to come after him. And now we're coming after you with sanctions that are going to hurt you. So
and they will. And that's the thing.
another issue that's going on from a national standpoint.
I don't know how you guys feel about this, and I know we're going to have Eric here on in a second, but they always go, look, it's a futile effort. The Ukrainians will not win against the Russians. It's just too big. It's too David versus too Goliath. But, man, it does seem like that these ragtag Ukrainians are winning battles. They're in the fight. If the sanctions stay on Russia long enough, the good people of Russia are going to go, what the hell's going on around here? That they do actually have a shot of winning this thing, having their country back with no concessions whatsoever. I don't think that the Russian people want to be in this fight. I just don't think they want to be there.
Remember the fits that Afghanistan gave Russia?
I know.
Was crazy.
That was like the Sand People in Star Wars fighting against the Empire, and they still were always there shooting at them. So I don't know, man. I think it's like give the Ukrainians air support. If you lob off a biological weapon, we're coming to get you. Enjoy your yacht. I don't know.
I know.
I feel like it's Gonzaga. Remember the first year that Gonzaga beat like Michigan or Duke, and they actually won the NCAA Final Four, or they won the championship. Remember that? It was that's how I feel that the Ukrainians are right now. They're like the Gonzaga of 1997.
I can Gonzaga's always been a pretty good team.
No, they did. Well, weren't they? Came out of nowhere. They were the Cinderella team, man, and that's kind of what the Ukrainians are doing right now. Could they possibly beat Duke? We'll see.
It's another big headline we continue to talk about there. You've also got, that January 6th House Selection Committee investigating whatever they're investigating has found text messages. Apparently, if you remember, Trump's White House chief of staff was Mark Meadows at that time. There's text messages of Mark Meadows in Virginia, Ginny Thomas, that's Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas's wife, saying that they were texting, and according to sources, they happened early November 2020 and mid-January 2021. Apparently, the text messages that are reviewed are talking about hopefully overturning the election. Now, what the actual insights into that were, whether it was a want, what kind, we know that they had no power. I don't understand what exactly is going on with that, but that is something that we're going to do. So anyway.
What? So what?
We cover everything.
I know, but they're trying to weaponize as much stuff as they can. And guess what? January 6th is stuff. They're trying to weaponize everything. They are. Look, did you hear about this? That Dr. Oz and Herschel Walker were on the Presidential Health Care Council or something like that. It's a council that basically helps kids and people live a healthier life. It's a cool thing. And Biden, for political reasons, is saying, yeah, we think you guys need to resign because of political reasons. Herschel's running for a seat in Georgia. Dr. Oz is running for a seat, I think, in Pennsylvania or something like that. And this moron, or at least Biden's moronic circle, is saying, yeah, we want to get rid of all the Republicans on something that helps the health of kids. So if you wouldn't mind, just put your can you move for me, Brandon? Because I can't see my girl over there. She cannot. It's just unbelievable to me. And these are like little stories that are just kind of a nuisance, but they do not, but they just kind of keep adding to the pricks of just that slow death. It's just amazing to me that two guys who want to help kids are now being asked to leave their positions.
I don't know. Dr. Oz irritates me. He's always irritated me.
Have you watched an interview with him? He's running for Senate, for real.
Right.
Legitimate.
No, I knew he was running for a real position, and I said, I don't even trust him as a fake doctor.
What don't you like about him? No, seriously, I want to know this because I don't understand.
This is like literally where I'm at. Like, I don't even trust him as a fake doctor on TV because like half the stuff he said, like he would talk about, this product will make you lose weight, and if you put baking soda and salt and water, it's going to help this. And then, like, you'd find out, like, later it didn't. Like, I think the only thing he's been accurate about is, like, apple cider vinegar, and I think that's the only thing he's been
that
legit
and the poop
with.
thing. Remember the big thing that went viral with him was, what's your poop like? And it was just, that was his huge viral video.
Oh, I didn't see this one. Okay.
So the deal with him is he's a television star.
Right, but I didn't trust him as that. So, like, how am I going to trust him as...
Do you trust Dr. Phil?
I think he's a neurosurgeon. I think that's his real job. Is he's like... But I don't know. He's a medical doctor.
I probably trust Phil more than us.
Would you not vote for him because of that?
I mean, I'm not in his state, so I can't vote for him anyway. But I would definitely not vote for if Dr. Oz was in this state. I would be like, no. Who else we got?
He's just a human being saying.
Because he just comes off like a hack on TV, and how can I believe you if
he comes off as one of Oprah's friends? Is what he comes off as.
Well, like a hack. But I like Obi. I know that I'm not supposed to. I heard that already.
Who? You don't like who?
I like Oprah.
You do?
But I do. And I know I heard I wasn't supposed to.
Why?
Because I heard that she's bad. I fell down the rabbit hole.
You can.
I learned so much on this show.
Somebody told me either on the Facebook line or in the studio not to like her, and then I fell down the rabbit hole. I get it. Still like her.
Illuminati.
Still think she's a good
Illuminati.
journalist. Who I don't like is Oz.
We need to find out more about why we shouldn't like Oprah because I like Oprah too. I don't know why, but she always seemed cool to me.
Somebody sent me some links. You can fall down the rabbit hole with me.
Okay. What about Vic? Do people like Vic?
People like Vic. Yes, people do like Vic.
Oh,
you can
I'll
read
say
this page
some
and see that people like Vic.
Drew Collins calls Dr. Oz the Joel Osteen of doctor.
Now I don't even think that's accurate because at least Joel Osteen has a decent message. The messaging is good. Maybe he might.
You mean the hundreds of thousands of dollars that he's hiding in the walls at his church?
He might be stealing the money, but the words out of his mouth, like believe in this.
So
and
that makes it better.
It makes it better to me. Yeah, Dr. Oz is just a hack.
Is it? So wait a minute. Do we want people who are in the public space to run for offices? Because I mean,
They
Matthew
already have.
McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey was going to run for the Texas governor.
Eric,
Trump was the
Eric,
president.
Eric, it's happened for 100 years. And
Has it
will
really?
Yes.
I mean, Reagan's the one that.
Reagan, Trump.
Trump? Yeah, right.
Are you forgetting that Trump was
Forgot
famous
about the
for some
damn
other
Trumps.
reason?
I forgot about Trump. I don't know. Matthew McConaughey always seems cool, but then they start talking about their politics, and you're like, I'm glad you kept talking, buddy.
Well, don't go anywhere. We got to take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk with former Missouri Governor Eric Greitens. We have a little bit of time with him. Eric, you have to remember.
I'm done. I will ask one question, and I'll shut up.
No, we just got to. We'll set the stage. What's going on? What's the latest? And then we'll see how much time we can get with him. And then we'll try to get whatever we can.
Don't say I know you got to leave. No, you don't. You got to stay here.
No.
Eric wants him to say, "I'm sorry, guys, I gotta go."
No. Yeah, I want him to say, guys, you've had me on for 40 minutes. Come on.
guys, it's 11:30. Guys, it's 11:30. I have
Hey, the
to
show
go.
and the show ended an hour ago, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still talking to you guys.
Seriously, I got to be on Hannity here in 20 minutes.
Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan, Angela Sharp, and Vic Faust of Fox 2. Fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Share the show. Don't go anywhere. Back with the former governor, Eric Greitens.
This is the Edge Morning Show.
Live on 100.7.
The Viper.
Saving at the Home Depot means you can do more for less. Like making dishwashing easier with this KitchenAid dishwasher, complete with third-level rack and a Pro Wash cycle that adapts to each load. Enjoy savings on top-rated appliances online, in-store, or on the Home Depot app. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only while supplies last. Valid February 10th through March 2nd, 2022. Free delivery applies to orders of $396 or more.
Hi, this is Dr. Erin Huey with Tomasino Gerst Vision Source. We provide a ton of specialty care: glaucoma, diabetic eye care, dry eye evaluations, now myopia management. Typically, we see patients that need vision correction for a variety of hobbies, for work, most often glasses and contacts. Come and see us at Tomasino Gerst Vision Source, dryoureyes.com, 272-1444. dryoureyes.com.
Attend the first annual Spring Spruce Up event at the Lincoln County Fairgrounds, March 26, 10 till 2. Hosted by Inglemeyer Realty, LLC. Many construction-related businesses will be there, including cleaning, remodeling, renovation, and restorations. Looking to purchase or sell your home or update your existing home? Attend Inglemeyer Realty's free Spring Spruce Up event with prizes and giveaways. Get connected, get listed, get sold. Just visit Inglemeyer Realty, LLC.com.
Compass Health Network seeks to expand its clinical team. Sign-on bonuses are available. $4,000 for SUD counselors and licensed therapists. $3,000 for nurses. Compass Health is offering these to professionals to work in our substance use and emergency mental health crisis services. Compass Health provides excellent training, a competitive salary, safe work environment, and great benefits. Visit careers.compasshealthnetwork.org and apply today. Compass Health Network. Inspire hope. Promote wellness.
You're always up for some fun with the family, so you order the essentials: a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized Cash Rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Hi, this is Curtis Barks from Complete Auto Body and Repair. We're now open at our new location in Cottleville. Whether you have a newer driver in high school or you're sending someone off to college, get a little peace of mind by getting an oil change along with a systems and fluid check done by our professionals. Come in to Complete Auto Body and Repair at our new Cottleville location on Highway N, just west of Mid Rivers. Online at CompleteAB.com. Others can't compete with Complete.
Dad, and service.
Oh, yeah, and service.
He fixed the car.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So we're going to tap into human emotion. First with some music. Then in a serious tone, I'll say, save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. And even though it was about saving money with Progressive, we'll fade out the music so you know it was poignant. Wow, powerful stuff. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Progressive Snapshot can save you money based on how you drive and how much you drive. So the safer you drive, the more money you could save. Now, if you didn't hear that because you were yelling at another car while driving, let me say it again. You need to calm down. Yelling is just making everyone as stressed out as you are and letting them all know that you definitely aren't trying to save with Progressive Snapshot. And if you did hear it the first time because you weren't yelling at another car, nice work. You'd love Snapshot from Progressive because it rewards safe drivers. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California and North Carolina or from all agents.
Now, back to the Edge Morning Show.
Some good dancing music for Angela this morning.
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
I'll take some.
What's
Nelly any
everybody
day of the
up
week.
for the weekend? Hopefully you guys got plans. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan, Angela Sharp. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Hope everything is going well. Hope your day is going well. We're supposed to, guess what? See the sun.
What?
Yeah, I think we might see the sun today.
Wait, what? The
Yeah.
actual ball of fire that was in the sky?
Yeah. Once again, John Parker calling you the
Dancing baby? Which I still haven't
yes.
seen. I still haven't seen the dancing.
Yeah, the Ally McBeal dancing baby from, I believe that was the 90s.
Yeah, that was the Ooga Shaka, Ooga Shaka.
That was the TikTok of 1997.
Yes, that was huge. That was everywhere.
Everybody tried to get to a computer to see the dancing baby. You didn't see it on your
I
phone
remember
back
that.
then.
That's true.
You saw it on a computer. It would like come in your email or it would be on some web
Well, our
page.
phones couldn't do stuff like that at that point in time.
I know.
That's how
Guess
fast.
how old I am.
That's how fast technology has raced around. Hey, Eric Johnson's here. Brendan Shanahan. I'm Angela Sharp. Angela Sharp's here. I'm Vic Faust.
Sunshine in Warrington.
Sharp.
You're Angela Sharp. I'm Big Faust.
I'm Angela Sharp.
I'm Big
Sunshine
Faust
is
of
in
Fox
Warrington. We have a sunshine visual. So it's coming this way, apparently.
We hope so. We hope that it's coming in.
The hamster dance. That's another one.
Yeah.
Oh, yep,
That's the dancing baby.
I don't know that I want to be that.
Don't show her yet. Turn that off.
I don't want to be that baby.
Oh.
I veto. Is that John Parker? John Parker would veto that. I don't want to be that baby. That baby is ugly.
That was a creepy looking baby,
that is an
too.
ugly
You showed
baby.
it to her. I wanted to.
Yeah, but that kind of looks like some of your dance moves. For
Okay, well, the dancing is on point, but the baby is ugly.
It is not an
If I'm gonna be
attractive
a baby,
baby.
I want to be a cute baby. I don't want to be an ugly baby.
But if there was a baby that was that old that was up dancing, you'd be like, that isn't. Hey, baby! Why are you dancing?
Well, that was the beginning of Pixar.
Hey, special thanks again today, Mandy Murphy, my colleague, joining us on the show. Did you get? I'm surprised you didn't ask any crazy. You said you were going to ask some crazy Dick Ford stories, and you never did, Eric.
Because you know why? Because to me, all right, Vic, I have a lot of questions about you broadcasters. I think you guys are all party animals. You guys have this amazing lifestyle. You guys get free tickets.
This sounds.
everything.
This sounds.
But
yeah, this sounds like how I feel about you and
okay,
the rock
but
stars.
Cool life you
but
live.
but I also come from the practice of what happens on the road stays on the road. You don't ask what happens in another band's tour bus. Period. And I think that if I do that on the air with Mandy,
I wish. No, she was ready. I primed her for some fun Dick stories. Next time, time.
I feel greasy and dirty by
Mandy-
asking other people, give me some dirt on blah, blah, blah. I heard this, blah,
Mandy,
blah, blah.
Mandy Murphy 2.
Yeah.
When we get Mandy back on again, we'll let Mandy tell us. But yeah, Mandy's been great to work with. I learned a lot with her at Fox 2.
There was this, okay, well, I know we got our special guest on the phone, but
Yeah, Mandy.
I got some questions for you.
All right, we'll talk about it.
All
It was
right.
great to have Mandy on. We're also talking with former Missouri governor, current U.S. Senate candidate, Eric Greitens. Eric, good morning. I know you're racing all around this morning. Thanks again for taking some time to join us. People wanted to hear from you, especially on this radio show.
You bet, Vic. You bet, man. Absolutely. Great to be on with you this morning.
Well, we saw the article that came out from Breitbart last night in regards to some allegations. You can set the stage for us real quick here because, as you know, the average person may not know who Karl Rove is. They may not understand what rhinos are. They may not understand what kind of I guess relationships might be going on, but you've had a crazy week. Your ex-wife accused you of abuse, and then now you've come out and said, wait a second, she was with political operatives in D.C. last week when I was with the boys at spring break. Could you kind of get us caught up to speed on, do you understand that the average person is looking at this going, oh, my God, what is going on?
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Look, the average person is looking at this and they're thinking, oh, my God, I can't believe how disgusting these rhinos are. So first, we'll just pull back. Everybody recognizes it's no coincidence that this week, keep in mind, this is the very week when the Soros-funded prosecution team that came after me with a series of false accusations, and all of your listeners will remember, they were charged with 7 felonies for perjury and evidence tampering. Just this week, the Soros-funded prosecution team with that corrupt FBI agent, he just pled guilty. He pled guilty. That happened this week. So people ask, is it any coincidence that on this very week, when not only have I been exonerated, but the Soros-funded prosecution team pleads guilty, that we see this new set of terrible accusations coming from rhinos? And that's what happened. And you're exactly right, Vic. Well, I was with my boys for 8 straight days on spring break. We had an awesome time rock climbing and hiking and swimming and playing and tandem biking. While I was doing that, they were meeting in Washington, D.C. And the Breitbart article shows we have the receipts. We caught them. They wrote these false accusations in Washington, D.C. They notarized them in Washington, D.C. They distributed them to the press in Washington, D.C. We also found out in the Breitbart article that Karl Rove is directly responsible for this. And Karl Rove, your audience may know, is a political operative. He's a rhino political operative who also works with Mitch McConnell. And we found out that Mitch McConnell's staffers, those associated with the McConnell Senate Leadership Fund, actually sent all of these false accusations out to the press. All of that has been blown up just this week. In 96 hours, we caught them. And then finally, the last thing I'd say about this is that anyone who has thought about these false accusations for 20 seconds recognizes that they are obviously false, and here's why. We've had a joint custody plan now for 2 years. And in that joint custody plan, the boys spend the majority of their free time with me. They're with me all summer, all Thanksgiving break, all spring break, winter break, every holiday weekend, Labor Day, Memorial Day, President's Day, Columbus Day. They're with me for all of it. And that's in addition to the time that I spend with them on weekends and school days down in Texas. Now, that plan has been in place for 2 years. And that's a plan that my ex-wife, the mediator, and the court all agreed 2 years ago was in the best interest of the children. Now, I ask you, and all of your listeners, come to your own judgment, does it make any sense if there was even a shred of truth to any of these nonsense allegations, which they're claiming happened 4 years ago? They're claiming that all of this nonsense was from 4 years ago. They're dropping it. That's right. On this very week when the Soros-funded team is guilty, they're saying this stuff happens 4 years ago. Does it make any sense that my ex-wife, the mediator, and the court would have all agreed that what's in the best interest of the children is that they spend the majority of their free time with me?
What the heck?
Obviously makes no sense.
What did you have to do to have George Soros and Karl Rove come against you? My God, it's that is, and you're right. All you got to do is read the paperwork and the paper trails, and you are absolutely right. They're on a hit squad after you. When you won the governorship, I was literally doing cartwheels and lighting off confetti cannons. I was so happy about that. People like you need to be in government. I totally think so. There comes a point, though, and I think you're living through it. Cancel culture is what they're trying to do to you. At some point, you go, I'm just done with this. Is there any way that you can David Chappelle these people and say, we're done talking about this? We're going to start talking about some issues. You guys have fun with this. It's all bull. Or do you have to keep addressing this as you run for the Senate?
Well, here's the beautiful thing, brother. The beautiful thing is that you're exactly right. They can't beat me on the issues. They can't beat me on the issues because they know, they recognize not only that I served my country as a Navy SEAL and helped my fellow disabled veterans when they came home. They recognize what I did as governor. They recognize that I've been the only candidate who's been strong on election integrity and went down to Maricopa County twice to see the audit. They recognize I'm the only candidate that's been down not just to the border, but I went to the Mexican side of the border to expose Joe Biden's ridiculous policy. They know that I'm the only candidate who had the back of our police officers and who's truly stood up against all of this defund the police nonsense. They saw that I'm the only candidate that greeted the Freedom Convoy, led 2 rallies, got in my personal truck, and was honored to lead the Freedom Convoy for 40 miles to the state of Missouri. So you're exactly right. They know that they can't beat me on the issues. So what do? They bring out all of these terrible, nasty accusations. They work with the press to promote them. But here's the beautiful thing. Here's the beautiful thing. Thanks to your courage, Vix, others, everybody who's been willing to speak the truth and to follow the facts, people are wise. And they've seen through the rhino games now. And the fact is, I'm going to continue to fight, not only because I love and protect my sons, but because what they're doing, this just shows they'll come after me and they'll hurt me. But frankly, the left and the rhinos, they're hurting millions of families across the state of Missouri.
Right.
They're hurting them with their COVID tyranny, hurting them with their inflation, hurting them with the defund the police policies, which have led to a historic rise in attacks and murders. So we got to stand up and fight and take our country back.
So, Eric, we're joined by former Missouri Governor Eric Greitens, current candidate for the U.S. Senate. Eric, so you're saying your ex-wife, along with the political operatives, made up all the lies when you were talking about you being an abuser, that you took the picture of the mistress, all of that. Those are lies, right? That's what you're saying.
100%. Not only, and the great thing is, not only do I have to say it, but it's obvious to anybody who thinks about this for 20 seconds. You see right through it, and everybody has seen right through it.
I consider myself the average listener, right? I'm Angela. I'm the average listener. Politics is not my thing. I know your name, but I know your name for all these not so favorable things. And there's other people that you're running against who I know their name for maybe some would say favorable things. Why do you think people are going after you as opposed to maybe an Eric Schmidt or somebody like that?
Well, Angela, it's very simple. You know, Winston Churchill actually said this. And you know what's interesting? So did Teddy Roosevelt. So did Abraham Lincoln. And when you study their lives, you find that all of them were viciously attacked their entire life. And this is what Churchill said. He said, if you truly stand up for something, if you truly fight for something, you are going to have enemies. And you know what? I have all the right enemies. I'm honored by the fact that George Soros attacked me, and the rhinos attacked me, and the mainstream media attacked me. It's the exact same thing that they did to President Trump. And the fact is, that's true in everybody's life. I mean, you think about everybody who's listening right now. If you really stand up and really fight for something, if you represent a threat to the political establishment and the way that they're destroying this country, then they'll come after me. And very practically, Angela, I was the first candidate in the country, to come out and say, you know what, Mitch McConnell has got to go. When I'm elected to the United States Senate, I'm voting for new America First leadership. And of course, we knew that the rhinos were going to attack us, but that's the right thing. We cannot any longer have rhinos stabbing the American people, President Trump, and others in the back because of their corruption and cowardice. We need new America First leadership.
So you bring up Donald Trump, and it seems like everyone in Missouri is jockeying to get around him right now. Have you talked to Donald Trump, and have you had a chance to see how he might have come in and help you in this race? He seems to like you a lot.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I always keep, and my team, we always keep any conversations that we have with the president and the president's team, we keep those confidential because we have tremendous respect for the president and his team and their process. You may have seen just recently, the president put out, and he asked everybody in the country to read the op-ed that I wrote where I said we need new America First leadership. Mitch McConnell has got to go. And yes, we were honored that our national chair is Kimberly Guilfoyle. That we've been endorsed by Rudy Giuliani and Seth Gorka and Dennis Prager. We have the endorsement of Veterans for Trump, the endorsement of Women for Trump, the endorsement of Black Voices for Trump, Jewish Americans for Trump, Hispanics for Trump, Fighters for Trump. they've all endorsed my campaign because they recognize that I'm the America First candidate in this race and that I'm the one who's going to really be willing to do what it takes to fight for the people of Missouri in the U.S. Senate.
Eric, one more question, being cognizant of your
bet.
time and thankful for it, because I know we've gone over from the Facebook line too. You said that you were an abuser. You said you didn't take the, quote, picture. This person also wants to know, does your ex-wife's sister happen to work for McConnell or Karl Rove?
Yes. Yes. And in fact, that's one of the things that the reporters found out, was that she does work for Mitch McConnell Associates and that she's part of the Mitch McConnell organization. That's one of the things that the reporters found out. The other good news I'll share with everybody is that there are some serious investigative journalists now who are digging deep on this. And this was such a sloppy attack by the rhinos against me that the entire truth, we've exposed it in 96 hours, and they're digging deep into how Karl Rove and Mitch McConnell all worked to put out these false accusations against me. But yes, that was just your listeners is exactly right. That was one of the key facts, and I encourage everybody, go out and read the Breitbart article. It is on the very front page of Breitbart. Vic, maybe you guys could share it with your audience.
Yeah, I could do that for you.
Read it and come up with your own conclusions.
It just makes sense. I'm sorry to tell you this, that the Cheney, Bush, those are the rhinos. You want to know what a rhino is?
Yep.
Dick Cheney, Karl Rove, and George W. Bush. That is the rhino, the varsity squad over there. So it totally makes sense. It makes sense that your ex's sister is working for another rhino. The picture's starting to come together a little bit from people who really would like to know. My advice to you, Eric, is just ignore this garbage. It's time to start getting on with you need to tell us what we're going to do for the country. You need to tell us, you need to say the cancel culture's over. You guys lost this thing. I'm done talking about it. I really believe that. Because I think that is their strategy, to mire you down in the mud of this thing so you can't get to the real issues.
100%. Well, let's say it right here. Cancel culture is over. Their rhino attack has failed. We are marching on stronger than ever. We have had tremendous support from people all over the state of Missouri who have watched this rhino attack. They've seen the way cowardly rhinos in the state of Missouri have gone out to push these false accusations, and all of the true patriots are standing up. We are fighting, and absolutely, no to cancel culture. We need to fight for the America First agenda, and that's exactly what we need to do.
All right, former Governor Eric Greitens joining us. Eric, thank you again for your time. You can also catch an interview with Eric tonight on Fox 2 News. We'll catch up with you later today. Thank you, Eric. We appreciate you giving us some time to give us your side of the story.
Talk to you soon. You bet.
All righty.
You bet.
We got him longer than 5 minutes, so that's good.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to explain all these things, though, which is why, our listeners wanted to hear from Eric, whether you like what he says or not. Yeah. He says all the allegations are untrue. He didn't take a picture. He was not an abuser. This is an attack to discredit him so that he can't win U.S. Senate because he called out Mitch McConnell. Those are trying to connect all the dots, and he says Mitch McConnell and his ex-wife's sister, who works for McConnell, are the ones who released this the day before William Tisby pleads guilty for tampering with evidence on his case.
You could make a television show out of this, man.
Well,
for
yeah,
real.
it's St. Louis and
For
it's
real.
Missouri, and we always have that kind of news here.
I know. It is fascinating that the far right is against. I don't know. Rhino's far right.
And then
I don't
Karl
know.
Rove and McConnell say, no, this is just a lie. This is a guy who got caught.
I don't know, man. Where there's smoke.
Who was an abuser, who took a picture, who got busted. That's what they say.
Yeah.
So that's why it's good to hear from all sides.
Okay. I just Angela, you had the question of the day, just coming at it from a non-political person. That was fantastic. And this is what he has to do. He has to win the hearts of the Ladue and the Chesterfield soccer moms, for sure. No question about it. If he wants to win this thing, it has to get past the politics and goes to the personal, and he has to start there. That's my opinion.
I mean, he listed off a barrage of things of why he was a cool guy. But
Yes.
I feel like we spent so much time. I don't know how to say this
Just say it.
professionally. Like, I don't know. I feel like we spent so much time, like, stroking his ego. Like, oh, man, like, yeah, you're right. You're being hose. Like, it's hard for me, the outsider, and I will be the outsider for a little bit longer, I think. It's hard for me, the outsider, to see that and be like, oh, is that all just coincidental timing? Or is this a guy who doesn't have anything to run on other than a victim game? So for me, it's like, oh, this is like playing the victim. Like, these people are coming after me, and they're coming after because I'm good.
He's the victim. Trust me.
What did you do?
Look, and I see
what have you, you know what I mean? From the outside person, that's me.
Yeah.
It's all it looks like is a lot of stuff against you, which I guess could all be fake, but it just seems like a lot to be fake.
Okay, so that's a fantastic point you just made. He is a victim because he's running for Senate. He's running with his ball and chain is what has happened in his personal life. It is very public. What the story is very interesting that his ex is working for people that do not want him to be the senator. People are putting their and isn't it weird that these stories are coming out as he's running for senator? They weren't happen. Those stories didn't come out 2 years ago, so
But
it's
Eric
happening
Schmidt
now.
is also running, right? I mean, I don't hear anything.
Eric Schmidt is a
about
far
him
more vanilla candidate
beating
than
his
Eric
wife
Greitens.
or anything. You don't hear any of photos he's taken.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he also is doing work. Like,
He has a
we
lot-
have seen him do a lot of lawsuits.
So he's kind of like the Guns N' Roses of politics in Missouri. He's got a lot of baggage, a lot of skeletons, and a lot of closets, but people like Guns N' Roses. Eric Schmidt, on the other hand,
Who's Eric Schmidt like?
Eric Schmidt is
I
like
can't wait to hear this one.
Eric Schmidt is more like the Steve Miller. He's kind of
What?
vanilla. He comes in, he plays great music, but he has no scandal behind him. People like Guns N' Roses. Would you agree?
I'm laughing.
Would you
because,
agree?
Eric? This is what you're best at.
Would you agree?
I think that's a good analogy.
You know that
I
the
do.
show that Guns N' Roses is going
Didn't
to put.
Guns N' Roses start a big fight and
That's
be a whole bunch
right.
of people in the stands? I don't know
Thank
if that's a
you.
good correlation.
Steve Miller never did that. He played.
Eric is referring to the former governor as the accident that rubberneckers have to look at.
That's right. That's right. But he has a lot of fans, and he has a lot of Trump supporters, and he's got a lot big grassroots thing. Oh, by the way, he happens to have this little thing that's going on with Kim Gardner and Karl Rove. But that's
I'm
like
not so sure that's a little thing.
it is not
'Cause
your
I don't-
business.
I don't care about the sex part, right? We've already talked
Yeah,
about
I was
that.
about to say you're the person in
I
this
care
room.
about that photo that he is.
That he now says he never took, and he just said that his ex-wife is lying when she says that he told her that he took the
Well,
picture.
so
and he has said
but this is
publicly in the
how-
last year.
Where
that
did the
he
photo
never,
come from?
What do you mean? Where did it
Where
come
did
from?
the photo come from then? If he didn't take it, where did the photo come from?
There is no photo that exists.
Really?
Yeah, they were never able to find a photo.
So what I heard was
She says that he took it. She being the mistress.
when he just
Angela,
talked,
John Parker said thank you. So you are
Well-
definitely. You're probably playing the devil's advocate today.
Well,
I would
no,
imagine.
I mean, I'm playing the person who's out of politics and doesn't really have a horse in this
this is
particular
this
race,
is an
right?
important election.
So
This is an important election.
what I heard when he said that was his wife was lying. I
Okay.
never told her I took the photo. Not I never took the photo.
Oh no,
Like,
he's already
I-
said.
I
But he's
didn't-
already said it publicly.
He
that
did it
didn't
today.
take the
He just
photo.
did it today, didn't he?
No,
Well,
he said he
not
didn't tell his
technically.
wife
But
that he took the photo.
But recently, he has said it at lots of campaign stops. I did not take the photo. He's made it public.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's got to Dave Chappelle this thing and say, "I'm done with you, cancel culture."
You're probably. I'm
I'm
going to
done.
agree with you on that aspect. That he probably should have said, "Guys, I don't want to talk about this. Here's what I can do. Here's what I'm going to do." You're probably right because I left here knowing equally as little as
Right.
I knew prior to.
I can tell you this much: this Missouri Senate race is going to be national news. Again,
Oh, yeah.
another
It is
national.
already.
St. Louis puts out tons of national news stories, unfortunately, and so does Missouri. All because of the Greitens case that happened. Now the quote investigation into it. Investigators pleading guilty with tampering with evidence. The former governor now tying Karl Rove and Mitch McConnell to trying to get him ousted because Greitens said publicly that if he was elected to U.S. Senate, the first thing he'd do would be to vote McConnell out.
A lot of people say that though.
I mean,
Did he bring up Soros too?
yeah,
Yes, he did.
Soros funded because Kim Gardner is Soros funded.
It is. It's
or
a
she
true
takes
story.
money. She told us on the radio show
True
that
story.
she takes Soros money,
Right. That's right.
True story.
and so that's where he gets into it. That's why you need a class on what a rhino is, why George Soros is somebody people should care about before you can really understand. But the average American doesn't have time and doesn't understand George Soros or doesn't understand rhinos or why anybody would go after Eric Greitens.
So
That's
in my
in his
head,
mind.
it looks like it's Greitens versus the other Eric, right? That's where we're
In the
at.
U.S.
We
Senate
wanted to,
race.
right? It's these two guys.
If Vicky Hartzler
So-
gets some money, she's got a lot of support quietly around the state.
Oh, does she? Okay, well, right now I'm looking at these two guys, and if they're both doing things that I like, why wouldn't I pick the vanilla guy? Why would I want to pick the guy who's got all this extra baggage to have to worry about?
Because there's a lot of Trump supporters that want to vote for Trump, and Missouri's a big Trump state.
Can't they vote for Trump and Schmidt?
I think they're by proxy, they're voting for Trump. I think. That's my opinion.
But by the way, Trump has not supported Greitens.
You're right. No.
But it sounded like you were saying, "Hey, President Trump supports you."
He kind of does.
No,
Well, in the old days,
but
he
here's
did.
here's what Trump has done. Trump has distanced himself from picking one candidate.
He's picking them all.
He's picking them all. He has not put one
Yes.
above the other. If he's put one above the other, it's been Eric Schmidt because he invited Eric Schmidt to Mar-a-Lago 3 weeks ago and stood shoulder to shoulder with him and helped him raise over $1.5 million for his campaign.
Yeah.
Initially, he talked about Eric Greitens. Then he held a weekend with Eric Schmidt.
Yeah.
Then 2 days ago, he's like, "Hey, check out this Billy Long."
Yeah.
And like, what? Now he's promoting a third candidate?
Yeah. Make no bones about
Trump
it.
Trump has promoted 3 of them.
Trump doesn't give
And by
it-
the way, I'm still doing my interview with Billy Long today. If I get any other,
very
it won't
good.
air on. I'm so
Yes.
damn busy. I'm going from Billy Long to Eric Greitens. And
So is Greitens going to air today? Your interview with Greitens?
yes, that'll be
Okay.
on at Fox Student at 5, and then
Okay.
after that, yes.
But that'll get a lot
'Cause
of
people
hits.
probably want to see. I mean, especially
Yeah.
people that are listening right now probably are going to want to see
Yeah.
that.
The problem is radio format is a lot better for hearing what Eric Greitens because it, to explain what's going on with Karl Rove, it took him like 3 minutes.
Right.
I may have 2 minutes to do an entire piece. That's where it comes. That's where
But
it
you
becomes
can come
difficult
here
for a
Monday
broadcast.
and be like, "Here's all the stuff that
Yeah,
was left on the cutting
absolutely.
room
I think
floor."
that I would love to see Fox too, and I think they could do this because one thing I wanted to ask Mandy when she was on is that what can we do to give the people what they want as far as their local news goes? I think long form interviews is the thing that I miss most about local news in St. Louis.
Yeah, but you don't
people
really.
don't have the attention span for that.
I would love to see Tashara Jones long form interview where you don't have to edit anything out. We're here with Tashara Jones talking
That's
about
a
whatever.
60-minute show. That's never
Not-
really.
who the hell's gonna
Eric?
put her
That's
on?
never really existed in local news to do a long
Then I'm
form
gonna
5,
invent
6,
it.
7, 8
Could you
minute.
post that stuff on the web
Yeah,
later?
that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
We've already talked about it.
That's a great thing. I mean, because it's just like the short excerpt from everything on the news. You want to catch it all. Everything else at foxnews.com.
Ooh, I like it.
Guys, we got to get to a quick break. We'll come back. We'll finish out the show. It's been a great day. Thanks again. We'll be right back with more the Ally McBeal baby music.
Baby is ugly.
Dance, Angela, dance.
I can't because
Girl, you just don't realize what you do to me when you hold me in your arms so tight. You let me know.
Grab your coffee. The Morning Edge will be right back on 100.7 The Viper.
Hey, it's Shanny from the Legendary Lunch, and if you're hiring somebody to come in and do a project for you or your business, you need to trust them. And trust is built. Well, that's what Concrete Bob and everybody over at Concrete Masters does every day. They build trust, and they do it with quality work. And it shows in their porches and patios, the driveways and walkways they pour, the garages. Whether it's commercial or residential, Concrete Masters does it all. For new projects to tear out and replacement, if it's flat, Concrete Masters makes it great. So if you've got an upcoming concrete project and you don't call Concrete Masters, well, it's your own ass fault. Call them today, Concrete Masters, 314-486-0926. Tell them you want to speak to Concrete Bob and plan your next project today. 314-486-0926. It's Concrete Masters.
If you want the best, don't settle for the rest. Come to F&S. F&S Collision Repair provides the best customer service, quality of work, paint color match, and paintless dent repair. They do it all. No job too big or too small. Just what your car or truck ordered. F&S Collision. Call today to schedule your appointment and get that car repaired. F&S Collision Repair.
Hi, my name is Takia, and a little thing that I love about the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is when I take a bite, it's the perfect blend from the bacon to the cheese. It's perfection.
Hey, I'm Katora, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A mac and cheese is it kind of melts in your mouth, so you know it's creamy, cheesy, and delicious. This gooey mac makes me cheese every time.
Order dinner delivered on the Chick-fil-A app today. Delivery fee and other restrictions apply. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Hey, Brian Dawson here. Folks, Brian Dawson Roofing and Construction is a roofing company dedicated to excellence and quality. We are very familiar with working with insurance as well as uninsured roofing needs. We do room additions, small roofs, big roofs, steep roofs, flat roofs, residential and commercial. So hey, if you have any roofing or construction needs, call me, Brian Dawson.
Learn more by visiting BrianDawsonRoofing.com or call 636-465-9465. That's 465-9465.
With everything going on today, it's easy to forget to take care of ourselves. Compass Health Network is here to help. We provide a wide range of mental health, primary care, and dental services for the entire family. Whether you need to talk to a therapist, get a routine health checkup, or have a filling replaced, Compass Health Network is here for you in person or virtually. Call 844-853-8937 to schedule an appointment or visit compasshealthnetwork.org for more information.
You are an electric vehicle. It's true. Electricity powers your heart. Want to feel your heartbeat faster? Drive an electric car. Made by Nissan, a company whose EVs have gone 5 billion miles. Built for every driveway, every highway, and every speedway. And where the loudest sound is the beat of your electric heart. Nissan. Electric cars for electric drivers. 5 billion miles driven by Leaf owners globally since 2010.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code FALL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code FALL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FALL.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider and are only available if the provider determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The expensive Little Blue pill is now generic, which means the prescription medication to treat ED is super affordable at 4hims.com. And now get your first online doctor's visit free at 4hims.com. That's right. Zero copay, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. That's really good news. To start your free online visit, go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/joy.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
There we go. What a way to kick off the Friday. We try to have fun. We try to get you started on a Friday. Is that
Very
straight out
nice.
of...
Good job.
Thank you.
This was the TikTok of my era. We would run to the computers to see this dumbass song.
This
How
is the
old
Dancing
is this?
Baby, 1997. Is when the dance.
Actually, I think it was one of the kids that actually brought it to my attention first. The kids know where all the good stuff is.
Eric, do you play anywhere this weekend?
No, I'm off again.
Wow, what are you going to do with your
Is
off
the
time?
band over? Is Platinum Rock Legends over?
I don't know. I'll have to make a phone call.
Wait a minute. You're not playing. Is Platinum Rock Legends playing this weekend?
Yeah, exactly. Good question.
Angela, what you got going on?
I will be on with Reed Lowe from 1 to 3 on 590 The Fan, and then later on, I'll be at Midnight Madness at Worldwide Technology Raceway for the kickoff of the Mid-Mad season.
And I'll be on Fox 2 News at 5 and 9.
Wearing what tie?
I got to get through the Greitens Billy Long stuff. I have no idea. I'm tired.
Damn,
I'm worn out. It's been a long week. I'm wasted by Fridays because the weeks are long.
You're going to be the special elections anchor this year. I feel it.
We're just trying to get a debate with all 6 guys.
I can't wait.
Would you be the moderator?
I don't know. We'd see. I'd like to be.
Oh, you'd be fantastic.
But,
you would be great.
But I hate moderating roles, though. That's
Why?
the problem.
Don't your hands are tied, right?
Yes.
Very much. Because you can't ask the
Yes.
probing questions. You just have to
I'll
ask.
do it. Give me a badge.
No one's going to sign
Eric,
up for that.
but you can't
debate.
ask the questions you want to ask.
Give me
if
a
you're the
media badge.
moderator.
I will.
Because you would be
I would
like,
be great.
I really like
You
this
need to
guy,
be.
so-
You need to be.
Yeah. No,
You
I'm
need
not
to
a-
be in the town hall.
I am
Eric.
not a honk. I'll tell you that right now.
You need to be
I don't-
the. You need
I
to
don't
be
know
the
what that
Ken
term
Bone.
Who?
You need to be the Ken Bone of the dude with the red sweater.
Oh,
there.
the sweater guy.
Yeah, the red sweater guy, Ken Bone.
Red sweater guy.
You could be Eric Bone.
Eric Bone.
And with that,
Good day.
have an awesome day. This is The Edge.
Come on, everybody. It's a hamster dance. Come on, everybody. Clap your hands. Come on, everybody. It's a hamster dance.
KFNS FM, Troy, St. Charles, and the Westplex, 100.7 FM.